And welcome everyone to Xi'an, China. My name is Simon, also known as Flibbles. With me is Munchables. How's it going, man?
It's going amazing. We're here at WCG. It's time for Saturday's games. As you can see, the convention has already kicked off behind us. We've got the Mega Cube of Destiny ready for action here today. But it's time to jump into our semi-finals. There was a whole bunch of tiebreaker action last night, but we have our semi-finals decided.
Yeah, so what it went down to was the head-to-heads and then games 1. And Tauki just inched out Arctic Pole. So we do have Tauki today as our 4th place. But our first game is going to be Franco versus JuicyJ. And then after that, it's going to be FMG versus Tauki. And then we do match, and then we're going to switch over to G-Clef and Paper Thin later on, who will be doing the finals.
And that'll be on the other stream on the main stage, so make sure you're checking that on later on. But we're going to be starting off with Franco up against JuicyJ, 2nd versus 3rd seed here. And we were discussing this yesterday. Franco actually managing to steal away the 2nd seed spot. Now, in the grand scheme of the tournament, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But Franco kind of came out of nowhere yesterday. JuicyJ, everyone was saying, was going to be in the semifinals from the very start. He is the one saying that he's going to win the whole tournament.
Yeah.
Whereas Franco, absolute dark horse coming in.
Yeah, JuicyJ had a great day 1. Like, he pretty much qualified after that first day. Yesterday, he did not perform very well. He ended up losing, I think, to GDH as well, who finished up in the tiebreakers. He lost to Carry. And
he had some uncharacteristic losses as well. I think that's the key thing, is that some of those losses, it's not just the player, it's the way that the games went as well. Let's have a quick look at the overview of this tournament, though. As we saw the last couple of days, the round robin was best of 3 points for a win, 0 points for a loss. But now it's time for our single elimination bracket. Only 4 players remain, and every single game will be a best of 5 series. And then as we move on throughout the day, our finals will be a battle over who gets that top prize of $50,000.
Yeah, 2nd prize, taking $20,000 still isn't a bad payday for playing Clash Royale over the weekend, is it? Like, I do that and I don't even get paid for it, you know?
Yeah, I would love to play best of 5 as well. I wish that was in the plan. But let's take a look at how yesterday went down in the end. As you can see, that's the 4-way tie that we had for 4th place Tauki, managing to win that one out in the end due to the tiebreakers. And that was down to how many individual games were won and lost instead of just series. That's why he was able to take that 4th place spot.
But FMG, man, that guy is on fire this weekend. 6 wins, 1 loss. He is playing the Clash of his life, and he definitely does look one of the favorites to take the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when you look at the scores from the last 2 days, having a 2-win lead on anyone else in the tournament, FMGG is just leaps and bounds ahead of the competition as of right now. However, it's important to mention that as we jump into the semifinals, first of all, his best of 5. Totally different beast. Theoretically 2 extra games in a series, but 1 extra win required to take a series, which means quite often we will have more decks coming into play. You can see our bracket here. This is how it's going to be going down. 2 semifinals into a final. You can see the champion will be named on the far right, and then our 3rd place match will be kicking off to see who will take the 10K as well. But again, these players, they're going to have to reach deeper into their pockets, deeper into their kind of deck pool to be able to win out best of 5s.
Yeah, Tauki had a few games yesterday which went down to, like, you know, the 1-minute mark before they started playing anything. All these people left in the tournament do not wait that long. Like, FMG is a quick player. He generally plays things like the Furnace, the Royal Giant. He's played Lava Hound, but he's so aggressive compared to the players that Tauki normally plays. That match is going to be insane.
Yeah.
But JuicyJ, Franco, the first game we have today.
Honestly, it's a hard one to call.
So Franco's coming in with probably the hotter win streak, because yesterday he just knocked wins out. I mean, left, right,
they're like opposite players, right? Yeah. JuicyJ had a great day 1, Franco had a great day 2, but both of them on the other day didn't have a great showing. And so day 3, it's suddenly like, which one of them is going to step up?
Well, you want to come into day 3 on a hot streak, right? You don't want to be here in the semifinals and be, you know, oh, I lost yesterday to this player who didn't qualify. I lost to this player who didn't qualify. I lost to this player. That's going to start eating away at your brain. Like, you're going to be more hesitant before you start throwing things down, because you're like, oh, if I did this yesterday and I lost, but if I do it now, I'm going to lose again, so I'm going to have to slow things down a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how much best of 5 is going to come into play here as well. Here we go, though. The game is already underway. Franco on the left of your screen there. He's going to be the top player on the red side. And then we have JuicyJ down on the southern blue side of the map there. And a Furnace as the first card does lead you to believe that this could well be Royal Giant.
Yeah, Franco bringing the Lumberjack and the Mega Minion there. Bar Barrel from JuicyJ. Just make sure that that Lumberjack doesn't get anything done. And we do see a Goblin Hut here from JuicyJ. Interesting.
Yeah, we have seen 1 or 2 Goblin Huts across the tournament. It's certainly not the most popular card. It's definitely has a niche spot, but the pressure that it does offer in a singular lane, especially alongside a Furnace, can really build up, especially if you can play across both lanes.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Nothing is getting done, and we see the P.E.K.K.A. from Franco. Is that P.E.K.K.A. going to be any use at all? From what we've seen from JuicyJ, he's not going to have any big targets to go against. Yeah. But then that depends what else Juicy is bringing.
That's the thing, but we were talking about this Goblin Hut. Obviously, against the P.E.K.K.A., just having lots and lots of small units filtering out to distract is often a fantastic situation to have. Lumberjack is going to be placed to try and deal with this Royal Giant. Barrel comes on down. There's going to be one shot going on in. He's going to be able to get a second one as well. Not too much damage, but certainly a decent start coming out. And now,
yeah, beautiful play there by JuicyJ just to hold on, wait for that P.E.K.K.A. to disappear. He knows it's out of cycle. There's no way he could have it back in hand. Plays that Royal Giant, but now that Franco knows, he's going to be holding on to that P.E.K.K.A. until the Royal Giant goes down.
Certainly will.
Or maybe not. P.E.K.K.A. played at the back. Interesting choice here for Franco because JuicyJ now has a window of opportunity where he can just play that Royal Giant whenever he feels like.
Yeah, it's interesting that Franco's willing to go for that aggressive P.E.K.K.A. once again, especially when it didn't work out the first time. Lumberjack in the other lane, though, because he's got a balloon in his inventory. Trying to distract over in the right lane, drops the balloon. It looks like it might connect. Fireball comes out. Lumberjack is going to speed it up. There's a Mega Minion, but the freeze comes out as well. Franco with an unbelievable play here. Does so much damage in the right lane, but now Royal Giant to answer. Lumberjack will be dropped as well, and there's a slow coming out from this Ice Whiz. Only 1 or 2 shots will come out here.
Yeah, but this is still a Baby Dragon plus one more Spear Goblin behind, and then the last of the Furnace. JuicyJ is actually in a lot of trouble right now. That balloon freeze really caught him off guard. I don't think he was expecting that at all.
And we were talking about this yesterday. When you do run a deck like this with freeze, something that is a little bit cheesy, takes your opponent off by surprise, especially in a best of 5, this is a perfect opening deck.
Yeah, something a little bit cheesy just to start off is great for Franco. And again, the P.E.K.K.A. going down the right-hand side for Franco. And the Royal Giant played on the left for JuicyJ. The Bar Barrel comes through. The Baby Dragon's trying to clean up that Lumberjack. Does get it done. Fireball down just to distract that Ice Wizard, but a beautiful tornado there, bringing everything back. And it looks like this has been well defended.
Yeah, it's going to be well defended. And now the P.E.K.K.A. is heading into enemy territory here. Barbarians are going to be there to distract him and be able to DPS him down a good amount as well. Spear Goblin's trying to do some pressure. Another hook goes down. And you can see focus immediately shifted to the left lane here for JuicyJ because he's got to keep that tower alive. 2 minutes 20 left on the clock.
Yeah, JuicyJ's saving grace here is that there isn't exactly a big spell in Franco's deck. He only has Zap, Freeze, and Tornado, and none of that is going to do great damage at the tower. So that 5/7/6 is pretty safe for a long time here. But that balloon shut down by the Mega Minion.
Yeah, absolutely denied that. Another hook comes down along with the Furnace. This is a lot of pressure in the left lane coming out from JuicyJ. The Ice Wizard is going to be able to do a lot to try and deny it, but it's already built up a lot. P.E.K.K.A. is going to be able to get straight onto the Royal Giant, though. We'll get one singular shot in, but that's going to be it. But look at the amount of goblins here.
This is where Spawner decks get incredibly scary. When they can start building up huge pushes like this of just cheap free goblins and then maybe a couple of Fire Spirits, it becomes really hard, but JuicyJ needs to hit a critical mass to be able to go and take that tower. And right now, Franco isn't letting him build that up.
Yeah, honestly, this Ice Wizard has been MVP so far this game. He's had so much value out of these slows, but also in combination with the tornadoes, has been able to do so much work on just removing these goblins.
Freezing the Baby Dragon there, making sure it goes down. The Mega Minion too is going to get a couple of hits in. Does die though. The Lumberjack is going to clean up the Barbarians, and the Royal Giant is played. There is no P.E.K.K.A. Franco throws out the good game. Tornado comes in. Fireball is there. Catches the tower. 777 remain. Will he be able to defend this? The Mega Minion is there. Baby Dragon played.
Right, one shot in.
Juicy.
There's going to be a second shot as well. 200 HP remaining on that tower. 47 seconds left on the clock. Baby Dragon's there. Lumberjack comes down to block it at the very last second there, but the Baby Dragon's going to change targets in a second. P.E.K.K.A comes down, and somehow Franco is still surviving.
Well, Franco is on a timer now. 269 remaining means 2 fireballs will get it done. The balloon comes in for Franco. He will probably freeze. He's not going to risk it. He's going to save the elixir to try and defend whatever's coming. The Ice Wizard is there. The balloon doesn't even get that damage on the tower. The Mega Minion's taking out the Royal Giant. A beautiful tornado again. There's the first fireball. 68 remain. If that Royal Giant can break through.
It's so close, but he's going to go down in the end. The Furnace comes down 9 seconds on the clock. Just anything hitting this tower. A stiff breeze will knock that tower over, but it's not going to happen. 2 seconds. That's going to be the game, and somehow surviving on 68.
What defense there by Franco. I feel like JuicyJ, he had it in Fireball cycle. He could have just cycled 2 fireballs and still close out the game. I feel like it was his game to lose at that point.
It was, I think his Fireball was just out of cycle. I think Fireball was the thing. He kept on using it to try and deal with the Ice Wizards, and obviously he was trying to clip the tower and the Ice Wizard every time. Unfortunately, I think it was out of cycle at the end then. He was just trying to find it. But that's one of the issues of these Swarmer decks is the average card cost is actually quite high a lot of the time. You can't cycle very quickly.
Yeah, and there was a point about, I don't know, 2.5 minutes in, 3 minutes in, where JuicyJ missed the Fireball connection to the tower. He did get the Ice Wiz perfectly fine, but it didn't catch the tower. If it had caught the tower, we'd have been looking at a game over. JuicyJ would have been going 1-up into game 2. However, we are going to be doing game 1 again.
Yeah.
Every tie, we just do a rematch.
Yeah, for anyone who's not seen this tournament before, anyone that doesn't know what's going on, when we have a tie game like that, we'll just replay the game. Even if the tower's on 68 HP, has to start again from the beginning. And so that's going to be a bit of a deep breath for JuicyJ. Make sure he can keep it cool. Once again, Clash Royale can be a very emotional game. I'm sure you guys at home are well aware of that one from your ladder experiences. It's very important, especially in a best of 5.
Yeah.
There's a lot of games ahead for these players. They've got to be able to keep it cool.
Yeah, I mean, that balloon freeze, that first one, looked as though it could have taken the tower. It was just out of nowhere. The balloon comes down, drops, I think it was 2 hits and the death damage.
2 hits, yeah.
So close for both players, though.
Incredibly close, but once JuicyJ swapped to that left lane himself and started getting those Swarmers out, especially with so many Spear Goblins, it's basically impossible to play a balloon into that lane again. And he just never managed to get the balloon freeze combo in this situation again. Yeah,
2 Goblin Huts and a Furnace, that's a lot of bodies, and the P.E.K.K.A couldn't do anything against that. He's never going to get to the tower against Fire Spirits, who are going to pull him back up. The Spear Goblins, who are just going to keep coming out and distracting him 2 at a time. But we are about to get into the replay of Game 1 here between Franco at the top of the screen and JuicyJ in blue at the bottom.
Yeah, the battle of the Americas here, as we've got Argentina up against the USA. And, well, it's going to be the Spear Goblins once again coming out from JuicyJ, the Hut there. But this time there's a Poison in the deck for Franco, which, you know, if you're predicting that they're going to play these Goblin Huts again, Poison is definitely a strong card to add to your deck. Yeah,
we do see the Barbarians come down from JuicyJ, split at the back, 3 on the left, 2 on the right. And it's very interesting to see what Franco is going to be playing here. He does have the Ice Wizard, does have the Mega Minion.
It feels like
be anything.
It could honestly be a very similar deck. Actually, Dark Prince going to come out here, which, you know, against Barbarians, against Spear Goblins is a pretty fantastic card. So far, things are looking pretty good in terms of the deck compositions, but actually a good amount of damage coming out from the Barbarians in the right lane.
Yeah, that one Barbarian getting to the tower at full health, and it does a lot of damage. Is this the Giant Skeleton Graveyard deck? Will we be seeing the Graveyard pop down anytime soon? The Baby Dragon are just going to take each other out here. The Giant Skeleton's taking out the Furnace. Barbarian Battle just to shore up, make sure...
He might be able to make it... No. Okay. I thought he might actually be able to make it to tower.
It was a good idea with that Tornado to try and drag everything closer to the tower so the Giant Skeleton can move closer. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him there.
Certainly not. So 1 card remaining for each player here. And we'll wait. I'm sure that neither of those is going to be revealed until the perfect situation. You could well be right on that graveyard. We could well see the skeletons coming on out alongside the giant skeleton.
Giant skeleton graveyard decks, they have to wait for the opportune time. If you play that graveyard at the wrong moment, you are out instantly.
You're absolutely right. And I'm anticipating probably a Royal Giant coming out here for JuicyJ as well. Obviously, this is a very similar deck to what he played in the first game here. You were absolutely right there. The graveyard is going to come into play. Furnace is going to be there along with the Baby Dragon just to deal with that one, though. The Furnace actually staying relatively healthy as well. The Skeletons not focusing that one.
Ooh, and the Dark Prince
connection.
get the charge with that graveyard that came in. A very successful graveyard. 1-2-8-8 remain, but does Franco have the tools to defend this? The Fireball from JuicyJ connects with the tower and the Ice Wiz, bringing him down, but I don't think that Baby Dragon is going to get a chance to hit perfect defense there by Franco.
Very nicely done. And now look at this AoE cleaving through the Barbarians. Dark Prince is going to be there as well. The barrel is going to delay it slightly, but now we could have another Prince connection. We're going into overtime. Furnace comes down just to block some damage, but he's not going to get too much value out of it. 600 HP.
That Tornado bringing the Baby Dragon that was targeted by the 2 Baby Dragons for Franco, making sure that the splash damage hits onto that tower. Incredible play there by Franco.
Now Ice Wiz comes down as well as a Mega Minion. And look at 1,000 HP advantage in favor of Franco right now. Another Graveyard comes down. Dark Prince getting so much work in onto these Barbarians. Baby Dragon comes down, but it might just be too little too late. That's going to be enough damage from the poison.
That's it. Game over.
What a way to do it.
Incredible play by Franco. The Tornado dragging in the Baby Dragon from JuicyJ onto the tower.
Yeah.
Just to get that double splash damage. I mean, 2 Baby Dragons easily beat 1 Baby Dragon, right? Unless they're clumped together or whatever. But my goodness, incredible play by Franco.
Yeah, exceptional stuff. And honestly, 2 games in a row now, we've seen incredibly close matchups where it is battling over a single bridge. We've seen very little kind of cross-lane combat here. We've seen both players, going head-to-head on a bridge and trying to outvalue each other. So far, Franco is the one that is getting these plays off. His Tornado Ice Wizard combos, his Tornado and Baby Dragon combos have been exceptional so far.
Yeah, I mean, Tornado, Ice Wizard, and then Baby Dragon, that's like the trifecta of the perfect
match
defense.
made in heaven.
Yeah, there's not much that can get through that.
Name a more iconic trio.
Giant Skeleton.
E-Bob's Royal Giant and Hog.
Or Rage instead of Hog. Oh,
yeah.
Need a shower after thinking about that.
I need a shower anyway because it's so damn hot in Xi'an.
It is really hot in here. I don't know if you guys can tell. And, I mean, it's filling out today.
Yeah.
A lot of people are here for Clash.
Oh, yeah.
A lot.
Oh, yeah. And I'm excited to watch on the main stage later on today when we get our finals there. You know, the stage is absolutely massive. If you guys haven't seen it already, head over to WCG's Twitter. There's pictures and all sorts of the main stage. Absolutely phenomenal venue here. Cannot wait to see who is going to be qualifying for that final as well. So far, 1-0 now for Franco up against JuicyJ. JuicyJ, one of the favorites from the whole tournament. Certainly self-proclaimed favorite, that's for sure. And we'll see if he's going to be able to get back on top in this series.
Yeah, he's going to have to pick up his mental state here because he has not had many wins recently. He has been losing games. He lost so many games yesterday and now trailing behind Franco. He's going to have to be iron-minded to be able to come through and win this.
Giant Skeleton going to come down in this left lane for JuicyJ. And honestly, so far, JuicyJ looking like he might be running the very same deck Franco just beat him with. Which is, honestly, I don't know. What do you think about that decision? Because there's a lot of different connotations to making a decision like that.
Well, I mean, for me, it's one of those things where it's like anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah.
But I don't know if JuicyJ is going to be able to do that. The Graveyard actually getting a lot of purchase here.
Yeah.
With the Baby Dragon tanking everything up. A Poison coming down as well. Graveyard Poison there. Not doing as... Actually, still going.
It's still pretty great value. Got a lot of damage onto the miner as well. Balloon comes out here, though. Mega Minion and an Ice Wizard going to be there. Perfect answer coming out from JuicyJ. The Balloon will go down. A little bit of death damage will go through, but not enough for it to be valuable. so far things actually looking pretty good for JuicyJ.
Yeah, JuicyJ there kind of predicted that there was a possibility of a freeze as like the last card, hence why he split his Ice Wizard and Mega Minions so far apart, because if the freeze comes down, at least one of them is still going to be doing damage.
Yeah, one of the most important things about playing around freeze is when you drop your Mega Minion, drop it basically at the bridge, meet that balloon head on. You've got to be ready for that situation, because if you do stack on the tower and the freeze comes out, you lose the game instantly.
Yeah, and again, great damage being done by this graveyard.
Oh my goodness.
Dark Knight tanking everything up. The poison is there, 688 remaining. JuicyJ really is showing that he could do better than Franco with this deck.
Yeah, honestly, here we go. Minor balloon in the left lane, though. Ice Wizard is going to come down as well as the Mega Minion. There is a Musketeer, though, DPSing this Mega Minion down. The balloon is going... No! The Tornado comes out at the very last second, denies the connection, and now Dark Prince going to charge on through onto the Inferno Tower. Gets blocked by the Golem, though.
Yeah, nice catch there with the Ice Golem, meaning that Inferno Tower can sit there a little bit long, but the Baby Dragon's there to tank the damage. The Skeletons are coming through on this graveyard again. Is he going to get the same purchase? He is. 4 Skeletons hit the tower. That is
surely game. Wow, what a way to do it coming out from JuicyJ. Importantly as well, the Barbarian Barrel so early from Franco did not deal with enough Skeletons, and that is going to be that one done with JuicyJ evening things up, and both wins with the very same deck.
I mean, Graveyard Skeleton, Giant Skeleton is a great deck, but I feel like JuicyJ really didn't need that Giant Skeleton this time around. He never used it to tank the tower.
No.
That's what you usually do, right? You let the Giant Skeleton go through, tank the tower, drop the Graveyard. This time he was using his Baby Dragons and his Dark Princes in the same fashion.
And interestingly, the Giant Skeleton was almost being used as a defensive unit. He was dropping it when Franco was trying to make a push happen, so it would not only tank the units that Franco was sending, but also that death damage. It's quite a large AoE, and if you can position it, it will annihilate a push in its tracks.
It's massive damage on that Giant Skeleton Death Bomb. Honestly, that was great by JuicyJ, showing that he is not like tilting at this point.
Yeah.
He had so many losses yesterday, comes in, loses the first set here, the first game, and comes back and wins in that fashion. He's going to be feeling amazing right now. He's going to be looking forward to going into Game 3 between these two.
And importantly, it was a more convincing win with that deck than what Franco got. And so that, for Franco now, could play into his mind. If, he got the first win in the series, but then his opponent immediately plays the same deck against him and does a better job of it, suddenly that's enough to put you a little bit on tilt, maybe knock your mentality just a little bit. We'll see how Franco's going to do to recover from that one. But also, we'll see what the deck selections are going to look like moving forward in this series, because suddenly we have a deck here that goes undefeated in this series now.
Yeah, but I mean, Franco has bought Balloon twice now. He bought the Freeze in the first game, Freeze Balloon. And this time with the Balloon, it doesn't seem to be getting him the connections he needs to be able to take these games.
Yeah.
So I don't know if we're going to be able to see him play that one more time. I think he's going to maybe drop the Balloon, pick up something else.
Or perhaps go for a different style of Balloon deck, something with maybe Lava Hound or something along those lines. We'll have to wait and see. And one of the things is these players, especially players like Franco, are a little bit less known than a lot of your CRL pros, and so there is opportunity that we could see some crazier stuff coming out, some much more creative decks. But look at the damage from the Bandit. What a way to start things off for Franco.
Yeah, Bandit getting that connection there is a huge start. JuicyJ not choosing to try and defend that. Just let it go. Take the damage, use the health as the resource, and then he'll be able to maybe have an Elixir advantage, but he's behind an Elixir right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one at all, but here we go, Goblin Cage. And I checked it up last night. It is the Goblin Brawler. It says in the flavor text that he is the Goblin Brawler. And he is going to come down and start beating down that miner behind the guards as well. There's going to have an answer right here.
Just about catches that Bandit there. Beautiful play. And the Mega Knight from Franco.
We saw him play this deck yesterday. We saw the Mega Knight Bandit combo, the double clash into tower just does insane amounts of damage.
Yeah, it's a really good combo for Franco here. He made it work yesterday. Will he make it work today? The Mega Knight is going to go down. The Electro was trying his hardest to survive here, but does eventually go down as well. And that is a very healthy Goblin Brawler right there. 1 hit, 2 hits off that.
Yeah, and every single one of those hits does a lot of damage. Health just about even at this stage as the Miner comes out to support this Mega Minion, but guards will be there to deny all of that damage. Mega Minion will get distracted by the guards in the end. I thought he was going to hit the tower then.
Does get
one hit anyway.
Yeah, it looked as though he was ready to hit the tower and then just changes his target to the last guard remaining.
I like this Mega Knight play right here. Sees the Lava Hound. He's like, okay, you don't have anything to defend right now. Time to go aggressive. If he has Zap in hand right now, he's not going to be able to go for that one. So tower does survive for now, 500 HP, and in comes the Inferno Dragon. Is
Franco going to be able to hold this up? The Inferno Dragon does take out the Lava Hound very, very quickly. But there is a lot remaining. There's a Baby Dragon, Inferno Dragon,
my goodness.
all the pups, the Barbarian, and the Lava Hound. That's just a lot of potential damage coming towards the tower right now.
This is such a massive push. Guards come out as well. A Miner to try and counter this pressure. Goblin Cage goes down, but it's not actually going to connect right here. Bandit in the other lane as well. But this honestly could be a game-ending push. We could be looking at a 3-crown. Inferno Dragon is going to be able to block down that damage, though, in the end. Poison will come out. That'll finish the tower in the left lane, but look at this. Crown Tower still in trouble. A Miner comes down as well. Finally, this push will be thwarted.
Yeah, JuicyJ here is going for the jugular. It looks like he wants to get that 3-crown, make a statement, and finally decides to kind of switch up the lanes a little bit, do some damage to that Electro Wizard, get some damage on that Mega Minion, and then start to build a push behind this. There is the Lava Hound. There's the Inferno Dragon. There is a Bandit underneath, which does get caught by the Inferno Dragon. The Miner going towards the King Tower, not caught out by the Mega Knight, which is what he was trying to do there. It looked like he didn't quite plan that out. And 907, so much damage getting done on that King Tower.
Still surviving though, and now a huge push going from Franco towards his opponent. Let's bear in mind, it doesn't matter about the King Tower if it survives. One tower in any lane will do at this stage. Inferno Dragon's still going to be alive. Bandit going to be there. The Miner is going to be tanking this tower as it walks forward. Inferno Dragon will not connect though, and in the end the push is thwarted.
Yeah, but it's looking very, very good for JuicyJ. 651 on that tower, and Franco has to eat through so much HP. 1828 on the lowest tower. JuicyJ is in a lead right now. 2 towers lower than his tower.
A commanding lead at that. These guards going to just deny everything from the likes of Franco. Miner goes onto the back line to pull that Mega Knight away. And in the meantime, the Lava Hound has got onto the tower. There's a Barbarian, a Baby Dragon, and an Inferno Dragon there to deny or to deal this damage on through. Poison actually doing a good amount of work with an Electro Wiz. The push will be finished off, but again, more and more damage seeping through.
Yeah, the E-Wiz, their savior of the day. Everything was about to finish off that tower. E-Wiz comes down, makes them reconnect their targets. Bandit caught by the guards. The Mega Knight 2 caught by the guards. He's not going to get anything done onto that tower. The Inferno Dragon taking out the Baby Dragon, and another Mega Knight. But there's a Goblin Cage there to stop that. Miner in the back is going to get a lot of work. The tower does connect to it, though.
There's just so much to distract this Mega Knight. The guards have been an absolute MVP here for JuicyJ. Bear in mind, there are only 60 seconds left. JuicyJ has to find a way to end this now, or he won't get the point for this victory.
Yeah, but it's looking as though he might be able to. This Lava Hound's coming through very healthy. The Inferno Dragon is just deciding to target the Lava Hound now. The E-Wiz distracting the Baby Dragon, which was getting ready. But that might be it. The pups connect.
Baby Dragon's distracted. 83 HP remaining, and it's going to go down. But Spell Cycle range has been reached. We just need to find a poison, and the game will end.
Yeah, and he has plenty of time to try and find this poison. He just has to stop any of this damage coming through. And JuicyJ taking his second win, 1 win away from the finals.
And what an intense game to do it in as well. The Crown Tower only surviving on 500 HP at the end there. Honestly, I thought that we could just see a 3-crown when they went for the trade early on, when the Miner went through during that Lava Hound push. I thought that there could just be a 3-crown to JuicyJ.
I mean, it was close, but just having that allowed JuicyJ to have so many options available to him. That tower was so low. He could have gone to the King Tower, he could have gone to the Princess Tower, and that put Franco really on the back foot. He had to try and predict where those pushes were going to come from. And the thing about JuicyJ, he was constantly switching it up. The Miner was going to the Princess Tower, the Miner was going to the King Tower.
Yeah.
And he played that flawlessly. Once he got that edge, he kept it. He did not fall behind. We were running out of time.
Yeah.
That could have been a possibility.
It really could have been.
But fortunately for us, it didn't happen.
And we have to talk about the fact that this Mega Knight, this Bandit, we've seen this deck do wonders. We've seen it when it can win games, and especially against Lava Hound decks, it's actually a very strong deck. But with the guards coming on in, with the Goblin Cage to block things up, there was so many little distractions in the way, forcing them to jump in the wrong direction, not managing to predict the miners effectively with that Mega Knight as well. And so you lose a significant amount of value from those cards. If you can't land the dashes, suddenly those cards just aren't as strong as they need to be.
Yeah, but we are getting into what could be the last game between Franco and Juicy, and it looks as though Franco, once again, opening with the Bandit here.
Yeah, Dark Prince will answer in that right-hand lane, and an E-Wiz to deny his charge. We'll be able to finish that Dark Prince off. Does get one hit onto the E-Wiz.
Not terrible damage. The miner coming through here. The E-Wiz is actually going to get damage onto that. Oh, and a Sparky.
Okay. Things are heating up here. Let's see how this Sparky deck is going to do. Interesting that he would drop a Sparky so early in the game and kind of let his opponent know what he's coming at him.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to drop the Sparky at the back first before the Goblin Giant, right? You want it to be charged up. But it was very early. Look at the timing. And he knew that Franco had the E-Wiz, which is just going to shut that down.
All right, now look at this push. Miner comes in on the back line as well. E-Wiz is going to be the first one to be taken down by the Princess Tower. But
and the Bandit gets the charge. The Bandit charges through.
Goodness. Look
so
at
much
this.
damage.
Mega Minion's still alive as well. He's going to come in and finish this tower off. Massive play coming out from Franco. We could be going to game 5 by the looks of things here. Even damage onto the King Tower at this stage as well. 1,700. With things like a Bandit in this deck, with things like a Miner in this deck, we could see a 3-crown.
Yeah, and the thing is, Franco has the E-Wiz, he has the Zap. He can shut down that Sparky in so many ways that I don't know how JuicyJ is going to come here. How is he going to do this? It's looking like Franco's game.
So far, at least, but let's bear in mind, we've seen crazier comebacks than this one in Clash Royale. And in this tournament, we've seen some pretty crazy comebacks. We've seen some pretty crazy decks. So we still have cards unrevealed at this stage. The Mega Knight is going to come through once again as Franco really relying on this deck doing well. This is certainly a favorite for him. E-Wiz in the back. And we'll have a Zap to deal with the Sparky. But actually, Sparky does get one shot off immediately. It is going to be Zap now. And the Mega Knight jumps on forward. Sparky goes down before he gets another shot off, and now Mega Knight might actually be able to get a jump here. Miner in the back line. We could be looking at 2 towers.
Yeah, it is looking that way, but the Bandit is going to be distracted by the Dark Prince, then charges into the tower. The Mega Minion's there too. This is a lot of damage once again coming through. For Franco, it looks as though he is in complete control of this match, showing that JuicyJ just isn't ready for what he's putting out right now.
JuicyJ just completely out of sorts right now. Drops a Sparky at the bridge just because he needs to do something, anything. He knows that there's only 10 seconds left, and this is going to be the game going the way of Franco. We are going to game number 5, and Franco, even after the loss, not deterred from running this deck.
I mean, it's a great deck. Really great deck, but I wasn't expecting him to put it out in the final game like that. I was expecting him to go with something a little safer.
Yeah.
But it was the perfect answer. It's almost like he read JuicyJ's deck list and was just like, oh, so you're going to play Goblin Giant Sparky? I'll just bring Zap, E-Wiz,
yeah,
and just wreck you.
Let me just completely counter your win condition here with this deck. But the strength of these pushes, the key thing as well is that there's no real direct damage in the Sparky deck as well. So there's it's not like there's a fireball to just annihilate these pushes that come on through, and suddenly there's very little to deal with the Mega Knight and the Bandit's dashes as well. So able to just plow through the towers.
Yeah, it can be a very expensive deck, and you're right, there was nothing to catch those Bandits, nothing to catch the Mega Knight. The Goblin Cage did come down, which I mean,
it was a Dark Prince
answer
as well, but
and the Dark Prince, but they're great answers. But when you have both Bandit, Mega Knight, and then the Mega Minion on top,
yeah, exactly,
they're not strong enough to be able to defend that. I don't think anything is.
Yeah, it just doesn't have the health pool at that point. Like, yeah, sure, you'll block a single Bandit dash with your Dark Prince, but at the end of the day, when he just gets annihilated, Bandit's just going to dash again. It's not like that has a cooldown, so at the end of the day, you didn't achieve all of that much.
Yeah, I think he was hard countered there by that deck. Like, that was...
Yeah.
if you think of hard counters, that is one of the hardest counters against that deck.
When you're running Sparky and you're against that much stun, you already know that you've pretty much lost the game at that stage. So we are going to go into Game 5, and I'm curious what decks are going to be brought. We've been talking about the mind games all weekend, how, especially in a best of 5, it's blind pick at the end of the day. You don't know what your opponent is going to bring to the next game, and you can try and read them based off of the previous games, based off of the way they've been playing across the tournament. But at the end of the day, you have to pick the deck that you think is going to be able to do best overall and hope that you get a good matchup.
Yeah, a lot of these players qualified on the back of Lava Hound. Like, Lava Hound was nearly every game in the qualifiers. It was Lava Hound after Lava Hound after Lava Hound after Lava Hound. And today, we haven't seen it as much as I was expecting. Like, I woke up this morning, was just like, all right, so these are the current...
I was dreaming about Lava Hound last night.
Oh, no. Was it a nightmare or a dream? Like, which one was it?
Well, the pups are pretty cute. The pups are pretty cute.
The pups are all right. The pups are all right.
It was kind of like a VR experience. It was like, can you remember the trailers that came out with the Lava Hound pups that were just adorable? I was just living that in reality. It was just beautiful. Anyway, we're going to go into enough about my dreams. This is a dream matchup right here. Game number 5, JuicyJ against Franco. And immediately you see both players leaking elixir. Nobody wants to make a misstep because this is the difference between going into the grand final for 50 grand or going into that third place match with a top prize of 10.
Yeah, so the winner here guarantees at least $20,000 US. At least $20,000 US. The loser can go home with absolutely nothing but memories of coming to Xi'an, China, playing at WCG. It's a possibility for the loser here.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, Xi'an's amazing. Been and seen the Terracotta Warriors here. Like, this is an incredibly historic site in China. But ultimately, these players aren't here for a holiday. They're not here because they wanted to come on a jolly holiday to Xi'an. They're here because they want to win that grand prize. They want to be WCG 2019 champion. And we'll see which one is going to have the opportunity and the privilege to step up onto that main stage later today.
Yeah, we were talking earlier that, like, JuicyJ and none of the other players really play this slow one-push style that Tauki played yesterday. And now look at what we're watching. We're watching both players go down to that double elixir mark where one push will decide everything.
And it's a risky game to play because, once again, we've been talking about how this is blind pick. You don't know what your opponent is up against. The first 3 minutes of the game before overtime kicks off quite often is used to scout your opponent out, right? You use as little as you can and try and pull as much of an answer out of your opponent as you can. Try and find out what their win condition is so you can play around it. But in these situations, one late game mistake when you don't quite read your opponent's deck correctly can decide everything.
All right, so the Golem coming down for JuicyJ. Franco just holding on to the Ice Wizard. So it looks like Franco isn't going to be doing this one-push style that JuicyJ is doing. And we see the Golem, Cannon card. This deck is so good for a Golem player. The E-Drag as well with the Dark Prince and the Graveyard coming down the left-hand side. This is dangerous. So much elixir for JuicyJ has been spent on the right. Is he going to be able to defend this? The answer is yes, perfectly defended.
Absolutely beautiful defense coming out right there. The Skeleton is going to be able to do a lot to just deny this. The Cannon cart, I think, is maybe going to get in tower range anyway. Giant Skeleton actually played at the bridge here, and the E-Dragon will eventually go down to this tower. The Skeleton will be distracted by Cannon cart on the other side. Barbarian connects on the left.
Look at the Barbarian on the left. 14.99, that's a huge lead right now for JuicyJ. And the Cannon
actually is in range. 1,000 HP remaining on that tower. Dark Prince going to connect to the Golem, but it's actually incredibly fast moving through this lane. The Lumberjack going to push it on forwards as well. Nice Tornado to push it on back. The Baby Dragon will go down though here. Doesn't finish off the Lumberjack. The Giant Skeleton just being pushed back. He cannot hold the wave of enemies pushing on forwards. Down to 1,000 HP, 800 HP as the Golems explode. Mega Minion pushing forward. The Enrage is there as well. This is so much damage.
Yeah, it's looking as though this Golem push is finally starting to get through the cannon. Ooh. Has to be Tornado, but it still gets the hits. That's it.
Oh my goodness.
JuicyJ taking the game.
What an explosive way for that series to end as well. Waiting until overtime. Then the Golem deck of all decks. To wait until overtime of all decks to have, the Golem push is always incredibly strong in that situation.
Golem Cannon card is an insane deck right now. Like, we saw it maybe 6 months ago. They reduced, I think, the speed or something of Cannon card.
Yeah.
They just gave it a little bit of a buff again, and it is back.
Dude, Cannon card as well. Incredibly high value card. You can use it to block things as a building if you use it in the right situation. It gets insane damage if you can get it in range of a tower if it's not distracted. But also, bear in mind, it does crazy damage even just as a defensive unit. Just to drop it in the middle of a push or to back something up like a golem, individual single target damage, it's going to wreck things like a baby dragon.
Yeah, I just want to say, like, Franco defended incredibly well for so long, but JuicyJ reached critical mass. There was one point where the Electro Dragon was ready to bounce a shot into the tower. He pulls the Tornado, he tries to pull everything back, and then uses the Mega Minion to catch the Electro Dragon so it's not bouncing towards the tower. He played his absolute heart out, and he should not have his head hung in shame. Like, that was incredible games, and he does go into the 3rd and 4th place match, which will be coming after our next game, which is going to be Tauki versus FMG.
Yes, FMGG up against Tauki, and that is going to be an explosive matchup because obviously FM has been playing phenomenally the entire tournament. He didn't have to worry about tiebreakers, but Tauki, the wins that he's had have been very similar to Game 5 of this series, where they've been explosive games. We've seen him playing a lot of Golem. We've seen him playing these quite aggressive Golem style as well, where he's willing to drop it on the bridge and go for a much faster push than you'd usually see from a Golem deck. So I'm excited to see this matchup and see what FM is going to do to try and counteract that kind of play.
Yeah, but we will be back after a very short break. Stay tuned for some more Clash Royale action.